I was on a ship called the Challenger 1, which is an American-flagged ship with 4 other American citizens and some British and Irish nationals also. We were one of 6 ships heading to Gaza, carrying about 10,000 tons of aid for the Gaza Strip and approximately 700 civilians from over 40 countries. We communicated to Israel over and over again that we are unarmed, headed for Gaza to bring in this much-needed aid, and we urged Israel not to use violence against us. Well into international waters, we were still hours from Gaza. I would approximate somewhere around 60, 70 miles, so I'm not exactly sure, from Gaza, in international waters, far away from Israeli waters. They sent their warships out for us. And I saw them attacking the Mavi Marmara, which is the Turkish ship that had the most passengers on it. They started firing something. I heard some explosions, and I saw some of the people on that ship using water hoses to try to keep the soldiers away. Then they came after our ship, and we just kept going. They eventually overpowered our ship and threw concussion grenades and were firing also some pellets at us when they got on board. We kept repeating to them, we're unarmed, don't hurt anybody, but they were pretty violent. One girl had a bloodied face. They smashed my head into the ground, then cuffed me and put a bag over my head. They destroyed the ship, but then navigated it to the Ashdod Israeli port.
I'm going to stop you there. I'm going to stop you there because you're passing over a lot of very important information. I want to ask you specifically about what happened aboard your ship. You're telling us that there was no resistance to the Israeli forces that came aboard, but they used violence against passengers who described themselves as unarmed and willing to surrender?
Yes. We tried to keep them from getting on our ship, but just basically by putting our hands out saying, don't come on this ship, don't come on this ship, we're nonviolent. And they were heavily armed and masked like commandos. There must have been about 20 that raided our ship and tried to take it over. Now, we tried to keep them from getting on our ship, but only with our bodies, in which case they used, their force to subdue us and to handcuff us all. So yes, that's what happened on our ship. When they towed us into the Israeli port, we were all separated. I don't know what happened to my colleagues. I was recently released after they took all my things, my phone, my money, my bags, my computer, everything. And I told them I don't want to leave without my colleagues or without my stuff, but they wouldn't listen. They forced me into a police car, actually picked me up by my hair and elbowed me in the eye and the jaw to push me into this police car, and then they just threw me out of the police car somewhere I didn't know. I hit my head and passed out, and the next thing I knew there was ambulance around me. So they were extremely violent, although we over and over again said we are unarmed civilians, we're carrying aid to Gaza, there is no reason to attack us, there's no reason to stop us. I hear them claiming we just wanted to check your cargo, but we had our cargo checked at each port we departed from. We hired special security in addition to the port authorities confirming that we had nothing on board that would constitute any kind of threat to Israel, and therefore there was no reason for them to stop us. And even in international waters, I was radioing to them, we are unarmed civilians, please don't use force against us, we're headed for Gaza, please don't use force against us.
The Israeli government, I'm going to interrupt you to ask you a crucial question. The Israeli government says that the trip was organized by individuals with ties to Hamas and to Al-Qaeda. Do you have ties to those organizations? Do the organizers that you have dealt with have any links? Did anyone talk about those links?
Not at all. The Free Gaza movement is made up of civilians from all over the world. We are human rights activists, doctors, lawyers, etc. And we, the Free Gaza movement, pulled a coalition together of groups from other countries, which includes a project called Ship to Gaza Greece, Ship to Gaza Sweden, the European Campaign to End the Siege, which works with European parliamentarians on a daily basis, and a Turkish humanitarian relief organization called IHH. We had repeated meetings with them. We had an understanding that we are completely neutral. Our concern is the well-being of the people of Gaza, that we help to meet their humanitarian needs, but also advocate for their human rights. We agreed as a coalition that we will not use any force against the Israeli authorities. We will be unarmed. I see the Israelis publishing pictures of knives that were on board, but you have to understand that the big Turkish ship carried 600 people. They were preparing food for people. These were kitchen knives.
Huwaida Araf, activist, held by the Israelis after she tried to come ashore in Gaza. intercepted in international waters, and after she tried to physically repel the Israeli forces with her own body, says she was manhandled and blindfolded. Thank you so much for talking with us.